Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. We're going to talk NBA playoffs, going to talk Major League Baseball, and right now the Cavs game is winding down with 2:02 left to go, and is 102 to 97 Celtics. And boy, the Cavs need to find a way to score these last 2 minutes if they want to even it up. Because right now it does not look like it. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NBA playoffs trivia question. For the 2012-2013 NBA playoffs, which of these basketball players played in more playoff games? And I will have the answer later in the podcast. All right, now we will talk about the Cavs, but we're going to, and there's a minute and looking like a minute and a half to go. Uh, and well, under a minute and a half to go, and just like that, the home court is gone because they lost game two to Boston. It's now 2-1 Boston, but it could be going to 3-1 Boston if the Cavs are unable to score. But we're hoping that they can score to get it to 2-1. And as the Cavs, they did lose game three of the Eastern Conference semifinals to the Celtics Saturday night, 106-93, heavily favored Boston. Uh, now leads the best of series, 7 series to 0, but it could be going to 3-1 if the Cavs are not able to score. Boston has the ball right now. Yes, thank you, Matt. I have my friend Matt Blumberg, was calling me from Portland, Oregon, on the phone with me. Thank you, Matt. Uh, yes. Following the game two stunner in Beantown, Cleveland spoke out that victory not having any meaning unless Leslie returned to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and protected home. But despite the lively sellout crowd with with white rally towels and sporting their "Let 'em know" shirts from the opening tip, trying to be the team's proverbial sixth man. The Cavs were not able to do that, and not even Dean Wade's highly anticipated return from a 2-month injury absence could help. Behind star guard Donovan Mitchell, who is out tonight with an injury, is not playing tonight, and Jared Allen is not playing it once again tonight. So, but hopefully we will get Mitchell back for Game 5. But it looks like if the Cavs cannot score, they will be dropping to 3-1. And I'm not holding my breath on them taking a Game 5 or there being a Game 6 or 7, but you never know. The Cavs got off to a strong start in Game 3. The first quarter featured 11 lead changes and 4 ties, proving once again they were up for the challenge against mighty Boston. But after that, Boston imposed its will and sent a remainder of why it is the East 64 top seeded. The Cavs never led after the first quarter. They were down by 9 at halftime in Game 3, and then the Celtics opened the second half on a furious 14-0 run that pushed their lead to a game-high 23 points. We've got to come out of halftime better, Caris LeVert explained. That was a point of emphasis at halftime in Game 3 for sure. We just didn't meet the bell on that. As the Cavs have done all season, they fought back, but Mitchell stopped the bleeding with a spinning mid-range floater at the 8:39 mark of the third. A shot that ignited a 15-4 run. The Cavs, who scored the first 6 of their fourth quarter, had it to single digits at the 9-minute mark, sending thoughts throughout the arena of an early March comeback against the Celtics, one fueled by Wade. And it's kind of Time is ticking away for the Cavs. And you can cut it to 5. It's 105.99. Darius Garland with a chance to cut this to 5 if he can make this free throw right here. And in game 3, not this time, the Celtics answered every run. They hit timely fourth quarter shots. They executed when it was required. There were only 3 moments when it's now 105-100 Celtics with their 31 points for seconds. And the Cavs are really going to have to hustle and try to score 2 or 3 pointers or a 2-pointer or a 3-point to tie it and send it to overtime. Yeah. There's 23.2 seconds left. Game got within 9 during the final frame. Cleveland couldn't overcome that wretched third quarter start. Yeah, you're right, Matt. You're absolutely right. Basically, well, Boston now they're up by 6, and Cavs gonna have to get 2 or 3 pointers to tie it. With 23.2 left. Yeah. They were the best regular season team for a reason, Levert said. Can't give them any life, especially when we're at home. We've got to take advantage of these opportunities for sure. They're a really good team, and I think we kind of let them off the hook. Yeah. Boston. Yeah. Now it's a 7-point. 107 with 13.9 seconds to go, and it looks like the Cavs are going to fall to 3-1, and it's hard to come back from a 3-1 deficit if that should happen. Yeah, and I'm not holding my breath on it, Matt. Boston MVP candidate Jason Tatum had his best game of the season in Game 3, scoring 33 points to go with 13 rebounds and 6 assists in 42 minutes. His all-star mate, Jaylen Brown, finished with 28 points, 9 boards. He had a team-high 8 in the fourth to thwart Cleveland's rally. Point guard Drew Holiday, one of the Celtics' main offseason acquisitions, added 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists while hounding the Cavaliers on defense. Derek White chipped in with 12 points. The Cavs were led by Mitchell, who finished with 33 points. And he looked exhausted after carrying the team, but they just did not fight back in Game 2. And that's mainly some stuff that happened in Game 2. And it is the final score. The Cavs fall to 3-1 in this series of Boston with a 109-102 loss. And Matt, you're right. It is very slim, and I am not holding my breath on the Cavs winning the series or having it Game 6 or 7. You know, Game 5 will be Wednesday in Boston at 7 p.m. And I do believe that game, I will check it right now. I will go to Google and check it right now, and I will see that get in here. No, I don't want to do that.
Speaking of figuring it out, you've been doing that all season long as a group.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be a loss in Game 5 too. Yeah, and it will be Wednesday in Boston at 7 p.m. and it will be on. I think I want to see where it's going to be. I'm trying to find that out. Hold on. And yes, it will be on TNT. You got it. Thank you, Mac. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
fans right now.
Yes, they do. And the bottom line, Matt, is that the Cavs they need to wake up. Because if they lose game 5 Wednesday, it's over.
Well,
If they do.
oh my God, the Celtics are better team.
Yeah. And we'll get back to this in just a moment. Right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NBA playoffs trivia question for the 2012-2013 NBA playoffs. Which of these basketball players played in more playoff games? If you said Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat, you are correct. Jimmy Butler played in more NBA playoff games in 2012 and 2013. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Coming up next, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks will have their game 4 tonight at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. I might, and that series is Dallas leads that series 2-1. They will look to advance to 3-1 tonight. The Indiana Pacers have evened up their series with the New York Knicks at 2 with a 121-89 win over the Knicks last night at Cambridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Pacers and Knicks will play Game 5 of their best-of-7 series tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. The tip-off is at 8 o'clock for that one. And the Denver Nuggets evened up their series with the Minnesota Timberwolves at 2 games apiece with a 115-107 win last night at Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the Nuggets and Timberwolves will play their Game 5 of their best-of-7 series tomorrow night at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Tip-off is at 10:30 because of it being on the West Coast. And I'm not sure that Denver's going to get past Minnesota. They've been a surprise so far in the NBA playoffs, Matt.
They have a profit manager because it's like I went over my
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, they are the defending NBA champions. And
they still won it all. So
yeah. And I'm not so sure about Indiana getting past the Knicks, even though they are tied at 2 right now. I'm just not so sure about it.
So believe again.
Yeah.
So
Actually, no, it's tied at 2. They're tied at 2. Yeah.
But you know what? Well, doesn't look too good.
And LeBron James was at this game tonight here in Cleveland. He showed up, and boy, Matt, just what happened tonight? I mean, they were down by 7 in the first quarter, 37-30, and then it was 62-57. They were down by 5, and then they were starting to catch up, and then Boston just pulled away in these final in the third and fourth quarter. The only bright spot is, despite the fact that Donovan Mitchell did not play and Jared Allen did not play again, Darius Garland led the way with 30 points tonight, 3 rebounds and 7 assists. And Evan Mobley had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Paris LeVert had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And those are the only Cavs that were in. And Max Strus had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. So there were 4 Cavs players in double-digit figures tonight. But they just were not they weren't making the shots tonight. And they just were missing too many 3-point shots.
We need to step it up and win the rest of this. We need to go out because we don't all belong to the Celtics. They'll go on to the next round.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
So we need to do something. We need to do something now because time's running out for the Cavs.
And right now we're going to move on to the Guardians. After a 7-0 win over the White Sox yesterday to avoid a 4-game sweep and they are 25-14, 25-15.
So,
And right now, well, yeah, you're right. And it was a great win for them yesterday. And right now, the Guardians are in Texas taking on the Rangers at Globe Life Field in Texas. Right now, the Rangers and Guardians are scoreless in the bottom of the sixth. And it's been a pitcher's duel so far. Zip, zip. Tanner Bybee is on the hill for the Guardians tonight. And he is really having what a night he is having. He has not given up a run. He has given up a few hits, had one being a bat and struck out for, but he has not given up a single run. And for the Rangers, it's I got to see, it's Michael Lorenzen who's pitching for the Rangers tonight. So right now it is a pitcher's duel right now through six, and it is
well, it's how it goes in a playoff game.
yeah. But for the Guardians, though, it's a pitcher's duel in the bottom of the sixth, which means the Rangers are batting, and so still zip zip. Let's see if they can hold it and try to win this thing. If they can get on the board and get those bats going, so we will see. And I'm going to go to the scoreboard, the Major League scoreboard. But yes, the Cavs do need to win these next few playoff games. Yes, they do. And yeah, and here in the National, in the middle of the nut. Yeah, I think you might be right, Matt. Getting to the Major League Baseball scoreboard, in the National League, the Mets are in the middle. Mets and Phillies are in the middle of the eighth. The Mets are leading 4-2, and that's at the Shea Stadium. I think it's there at yeah, City Field. City Field, that's what it's called. And yeah, and in the middle of the eighth in Atlanta, the Cubs are beating the Braves. The Braves are beating the Cubs, excuse me, 2-0. At Thrust Park in Atlanta. So they're in the middle of the excuse me, in the middle of the eighth. In the top of the seventh, in Milwaukee, it's the Pirates 5, the Brewers nothing. I'm going to get more updates here. I'm going to look at my scoreboard here and I got to. And earlier today, the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore 3-2. And the Detroit Tigers beat the Miami Marlins by 1 at Comerica Park, 6-5. And Guardians and Rangers are zip zip. In the middle of the sixth, it's in Houston. It's the Astros 3, the Athletics 2, and at 9:38, the Cincinnati Reds will be in Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. At 9:40, the Royals are in Seattle to take on the Mariners. Yeah, and the the St. Louis Cardinals are in Anaheim to take on the LA Angels of Anaheim. At 9:38, the Colorado Rockies are in San Diego to take on the Padres, and the Giants. Well, to round out the games tonight, the Dodgers will take on the Giants in San Francisco. So that's your Major League scoreboard. But yeah, Matt, you are right. The Cavs do really need to try to win these next few games because if they don't win tomorrow or in Game 6, it's over. And I'm still saying Cavs in 7, but I am not getting my hopes up because they were just missing too many shots tonight. and it was just one of those games where they weren't making 3-pointers, and yeah, so I think really they need to really win these next few playoff games. And so, Matt, I want to thank you for being on as my guest on my speakerphone. That's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast later on this week or this weekend. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.